Ask Tom on Home Show.
Lori from Cypress, Texas has a question about a building bottleneck.
Yeah, she's putting up a new house in Town Lake, and she's running into a real challenge, Tom. Lori writes, the builder sent me an email asking me to agree that if radiant barrier material isn't available when it's time to put the roof deck on, that they'll upgrade to R44 insulation instead. Don't they do different things, insulation and radiant barrier? How much efficiency am I losing with this solution? Should I ask them to credit me the difference if I install at a later date, or should I let them install the R44 and get a radiant barrier solution later? What's your advice for Lori?
I'd get the radiant barrier later, or quite frankly, I'd talk to the builder, because he might not be that schooled about it, about before they close the walls. I'm not sure what stage they're in, but it sounds like they're early. To go ahead and have someone go up, if they already closed the walls, get in the attic before they put the insulation in, and spray paint, the radiant barrier paint on the underside of the roof decking. It won't take but a few hours. It's probably not going to be much difference in cost than adding all that other insulation, which isn't going to do you near as much good for the Houston area. So that's what I would do, is see what it would take to do that. Or get a rebate from him on the money it costs for the radiant barrier roof decking, and you hire someone to go up and do it after you move into the home, which is not that difficult to do.
That's one of the solutions she had in mind. But to her point, though, Tom, radiant barrier and insulation, don't they perform different functions in that roofing envelope?
Okay, kids, get your thinking caps on.
Here we go.
This gets like Mr. Science. That's why I said that as a joke. Kind of, wasn't that funny? You have three ways heat moves: convection, conduction, and radiation. Convection, you move heat and moisture, the most important thing, out of your attic, because heat rises through ridge vents and soffit vents. So you take care of that small amount of heat gain, that large amount of moisture removal. So that helps keep the insulation dry. The insulation on the floor of the attic takes care of conduction. That's when a hot surface and a cold surface have something in between, which would be your ceiling, your sheetrock. So by putting that resistance of heat material on top, the insulation, it keeps the heat from heating up the sheetrock, so you get more efficiency coming through the ceiling, or getting a better efficiency with the ceiling, because you're stopping the conductive heat gain. Then you have radiation, which is 80% of the heat gain coming through the attic in Houston. And the radiant barrier will stop about 97% if it's a foil, or about 80-85% if it's a paint, which is a huge reduction, which means your insulation actually stays cooler. By having the convection heat go up, your insulation stays drier, which keeps its R value a total of what it is, because moisture destroys the R value, so you want it dry, and then it can do its job very well. And so these three parts and pieces, handling the three heat gains coming in different ways, all make the perfect package for the Gulf Coast region.
I hope you were taking notes, because there will be a quiz.
Yeah, and it'll be online.
Here, go ahead and click on the Ask Tom button. Here you go. Send your questions to us. Let's quiz Tom. Send your questions and problems stuff. Let's see if we can't stump him with a home improvement challenge. I've been sitting here with Tom for just under 30 years. I'd like to see him get stumped once in a while, and you can make it happen. You can make it happen.
Yes.
Go ahead and help us out, and because Tom likes to help you out with his advice to help make your house a more efficient, safer, better place to be. And that's why we post a video like this every day at HomeShowRadio.com, at the Home Show Facebook page, and of course the Home Show YouTube channel.